I'd like to spend a few minutes and talk about something I've labeled dealing with reality, and I expect momentarily you'll get a sense of why I labeled it as such. So the problems that we face today are typically extremely complex, and we perceive them as being very complicated. And complicated to an extent where does one person typically understand enough to know how to deal with them? I mean, in some situations, maybe, but in most situations, the uh, the situations that we face today require perspectives from multiple disciplines to understand the situation and figure out what to do with it. So, what it says is that collaboration is essential. If we are going to understand the situation to the extent appropriate and then develop an approach to address it. The difficulty is how often do we actually know who those appropriate people are that should collaborate in dealing with this situation? And when and if we find them, isn't it highly likely that they're quite likely to be geographically distributed in who knows how many time zones? And if they are the right people, should you expect that they're simply waiting for you to ask them to participate in this particular collaboration? I mean, if they are the right people, they're probably already amazingly busy, which means scheduling anything to happen in a typical sense is probably a scheduling nightmare. It means that we have to learn how to function in an asynchronous mode effectively, which in most instances I've seen we don't do very well. Because the old methods of gerbil trailing things around is simply too time consuming for all of the parties involved, and the different individuals will end up being involved at different periods, not from beginning to end of the project. Certain people will show up with a required expertise at a particular point, and they have to come up to speed on where things are and what their contribution might be at that point so that they can contribute and then go back to all the other things that are keeping them busy on an ongoing basis. So, given the reality of the situation, um, operating in our traditional mode means that success is highly unlikely. So, with this realization, we have spent, myself and a number of people, have spent several years now, on and off, talking about how we do what might be called asynchronous virtual collaboration. That is, where individuals don't come together in the typical sense to participate in a project or a collaboration. They come and go as appropriate. How do you find them? How do you engage them? How do you not waste their time? And we have come up with a realization on the multiple dimensions of this problem that we have thought about, which are provided here. Thoughts on how to integrate all of those various and sundry interactions over a period of time in an asynchronous fashion, and how you develop an integrated mindset to do that, and an integrated tool set that supports doing that. So on the oh, and this is actually part of a larger perspective which has to do with effective virtual collaboration. Two other pieces which exist in perspectives and are listed in the references as links. One is creating the future, and the other one is a systemic intervention approach. So on the focus page, on the wiki page for this perspective, this is a live embed, so that if you click on any of the elements, the sidebar will open, the tab will close it, and there is our thoughts to date about all of these different elements. And if you click on the labels for the segments, each one of them has a description and a video that you can watch in the window. And when you're done, you can simply close it. So, and the references The links to the various segments of this are provided below if you want to access them directly. So I hope you find this useful, and I look forward to your feedback. Take care. Bye.